So, you want to buy an amp modeling pedalboard and you are not sure if to buy the Boss GT1000 Core or the Line 6 HX Stomp? You want to better know their main characteristics and the main differences between these two units? Well, I think that this video is gonna help you. Let's find out together which one of the two better suit your needs. Hello everybody, my name is Leo and with this video we will share a direct comparison between the Boss GT1000 Core versus the Line 6 HX Stomp. First of all, we will share a demo song hearing the two units in action, then we will compare the features and technical characteristics of the units with a very detailed comparison chart, then we will hear more sounds in a dedicated section of this video, and finally I will give you my 2 cents. So I hope you enjoy and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, as it's gonna really help me to make more videos like this. Let's start with the demo song. We will now check the differences between the two units among the following parameters: number of amps, cabs and microphones built-in, third-party IRs availability, number of patches, number of effects and effect chain management, MIDI possibilities, audio inputs and outputs, foot switches and expression pedals, screen size, looper capabilities, ADA conversion and USB channels, current, power, dimension, weight and price. First of all, we have 74 amps, 37 cabs and 16 mix built-in in the HX Stomp, while the GT1000 Core offers 23 amps and cabs, plus 12 standalone cabs. With the HX, you can set the mic distance but not the mic position, while with the GT1000 Core you can set both the position and the distance. I'm really upset and it's really a bummer that the HX Stomp does not allow us to set the mic position, as in my opinion it has a big impact in the sound. So, even if the HX offers more amps and cabs, I would give to both of them a thumbs up, as with the HX you cannot set the mic position, while you can with the GT1000 Core. It is worth noticing that the so-called AIRD amplifier design philosophy of the Boss put an emphasis on accurately recreating the interaction between a total amplifier setup, amp plus speaker section. As such, each amp model is recreated with its ideal speaker combination. That's why here I'm writing 23 amps and cabs plus 12 more cabs, because the 23 amps and cabs have been captured together with the AIRD BOS technology. They both offer the possibility to load third-party IRs, and we have 128 user slots in the HX Stomp and 16 only user slots in the BOS GT1000 core. Unfortunately, BOS offers scarce detail about the quality of the IR you can load. The BOS has 500 preset and the HX 126, so the BOS is better. The BOS has more than 116 effects distributed in 24 blocks, and if I understood it well, you can have 3 parallel sets of effects at a time, while the HX has more effects, 200, but you can run up to 6 FX blocks. So I think that even if the BOS has less effects in total, it's more important to have more blocks together. Both have the same MIDI capabilities, but here we have another difference, as the GT1000 core has MIDI over TRS cable, while the HX Stomp has regular MIDI ports. As regards I/O, the HX Stomp has 2 inputs, 2 FX blocks, balanced and unbalanced stereo outputs with a sound that requires a stereo cable and a dedicated headphone out. The GT1000 core, on the other hand, has also 2 inputs and 2 FX loops, like the HX, but only stereo unbalanced outputs, where the HX Stomp has also balanced outputs, and an headphone out that function also as left out, where the HX Stomp has a dedicated headphone out. Here I think that the HX is better, as it offers balanced outputs that are surprisingly missing in the GT1000 core, and that could be important if you have to run long cables in live situation. Here I don't understand the BOS choice. What's the point in having high quality converters at 32 bits if you're gonna lose sound quality with unbalanced output? I don't know. Please let me know if I'm right, and the BOS GT1000 is actually missing balanced output. The GT1000 core has 3 foot switches and 2 inputs for external controllers or expression pedals, and 1 input can also be used for controlling the amp, while the HX Stomp has also 3 foot switches but only 1 expression control pedal input. Therefore, the core is better here. The screen of the HX Stomp is better, and the one of the core is pretty poor, with a 2-color screen. The HX manages longer looper than the core. As regards ADA conversion and USB ports, I would say that they are on par, as the HX offers more USB ports, 8 against 6, and the core offers better converters at 32 bits against 24. One difference here that it is worth noticing is that the GT1000 core has a micro USB connection, while the HX Stomp has a regular USB connection. Then we have the power needs, where the core needs way less power at 670 mAh versus the 3000 mAh of the HX Stomp. And with a pedalboard adapter you should be able to power the core, but with HX you need a specific power adapter. And it is a major fault of the HX in my opinion, as if you wanna use the HX in a standard pedalboard with other effects, it's gonna be pretty difficult to use your pedalboard power adapter that is easier to use with the GT1000 core, as it is less power hungry. As regards the dimension and weight, they are pretty similar, with a core that is just a little bit weighter. And finally the price. In my last comparison chart I was not considering the price as a deciding factor, because price is fluctuating, but here I think that it is worth considering the price, as these units are pretty similar, so the fact that the core costs more money may not have a clear reason for some of us. Now, if we sum up the red and green thumbs, we have suspense, 9 green and 4 reds for the HX Stomp, and 8 green and 5 reds for the GT1000 core. So according to this comparison chart, the HX Stomp is a little bit better, without considering that each feature could have a different importance for you. So you may consider the HX better just because it has balanced out, or the GT1000 better as it requires less power. But if we just algebraically sum the red and green, the HX Stomp is a little bit better. In my opinion, the major fault of the HX is that it requires a lot of current, And so if I'm gonna use it in a standard pedalboard, I need a dedicated power bricks. On the other hand, the major fault of the GT1000 core, in my opinion, is that it is missing balanced outs that are pretty useful in live situation, in my opinion. Please let me know if there is something wrong or there are other differences that I don't mention and that are important for you, so that we can enrich this comparison and help other guitarists who are unsure which one to buy. Now, final considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinion and you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. First of all, let me say that I grew up with Boss effects and I own the Boss GT1000 since the first day it came out. And having all the Boss effects in the GT1000 core, also with pretty nice sounding amps, is really great. Now, considering that in terms of amp tone is really a matter of taste and they both sound good, if I had to choose, I would decide with the following use cases in mind. If I needed an all-around solution for just recording at home, then I would go with the Boss GT1000 core. Why? Well, because it has a more flexible effect chain management, you can use more effects blocks, and you can come out with pretty crazy effects chains. So for just recording, I think that the GT1000 core just let us be more creative and let us explore some pretty unusual sounds. On the other hand, if I needed an all-in-one solution just for playing live without other effects pedal, I would go with the HX Stomp. Why? Because thanks to its balanced output, I can go directly into a mixing desk also with long cables without losing sound quality. Finally, if I needed a very compact unit packed with tons of effects and that is gonna be paired with other effects like a Strymon Volante or overdrive I love like a full tone OCD or a Clone Centaur, well, I would go with the Boss GT1000 core. In fact, the GT1000 core, requiring less power, let me to use just one power brick. In this way, having a more compact pedalboard. Furthermore, pairing the GT1000 core with other drive pedals or preamps, I would overcome the less amp models available in the GT1000 core, so having more tonal palette to choose. I mean, the GT1000 core has way less amps than the HX Stomp, but pairing it with drive pedals, I can overcome this limitation. But now it's your turn. What are your opinions? Which unit better suits your needs? Which unit would you buy? Why? Please let me know your precious and valuable opinions in the comment below. I think that also thanks to your precious opinions we can help other guitarists to make their decision according to their needs. We have now reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell and leave a thumbs up. It will be of great help, and you won't miss my future videos. If you're interested in my music, you can check out a playlist of songs of mine in the description below. If you're interested in my IR, you can check out the link in the card above or in the description below. See you in the next video. Bye bye.